Michelle from A Common Life. I'm the homeschooling mom of 5 children ages 3 through 11, and we have been homeschooling for about 5 years. And today I just want to share with you a few things that I wish I had known before I had started. The very first thing is that homeschool does not look like what it looks like on Instagram. I know that so many of us follow social media and we see these people with these perfectly arranged homeschool rooms and everything looks so idyllic and their kids are just sitting there reading. And I'm going to tell you from experience, it does not look like that. Maybe it does sometimes, and I know I've definitely snapped some pictures of that before. But in general, it's kind of a little bit messy and the kids are wiggling around and moving and not always focusing. And it isn't that perfect scene that you're expecting. And so for me, it took a little while to be able to kind of just accept that fact that it's not going to look perfect. It's going to look like real life, and real life is messy. And so definitely do not compare yourself to what you're seeing on social media. The next thing that I learned is that introverts need their own time. If you or some of your children are introverted, you have to make sure to set aside that quiet time so that you can recharge. People who are extroverted do not need that quiet time to recharge. They recharge when they're around people, when they're being social and things like that. But if you're introverted or if your children are introverted, the only way for them to kind of recharge their energy is to have some quiet time alone. So I would definitely recommend doing some type of quiet time in the afternoon, and even for yourself. Having your children do that quiet time is good for you because you're able to get some quiet time as well. Another thing that I didn't realize before I started homeschooling was the immense pride that I was going to feel when my children accomplished even the most simple little tasks, like learning how to read, recognizing the sound that a letter makes, adding 2 plus 2, maybe even coloring in the lines. All of these little things become such huge accomplishments when you are by them every single day and seeing what they're doing. So it is just so rewarding. The next thing took me a little while to really get used to, and that is that homeschool does not look like public or private school. It's not supposed to, it's homeschool. But I had been a high school English teacher, and so I was really used to, having a very formal setup and doing the same thing every day and keeping a schedule and things like that. And that just doesn't always work for homeschool. And so just getting used to the fact that homeschool is what you want it to be. If you want it to look like a public school, then that's great if that works for your family. If you want to be doing your schoolwork on the couch or outside or at the library or whatever you want, do that. You need to do whatever works for you, and just remember it doesn't need to look like what everyone else is doing. One negative thing I learned was that it can be very isolating. Homeschooling usually means you are at home with your kids almost every single day of the week. And if you're involved in co-op or activities or things like that, I know you do get out, but that doesn't always mean that you have social time. And so being a homeschool mom, it is very important to make sure that you set aside that time either to be social or just having time to yourself or time with your spouse, because it can be very isolating and it can become very lonely. The next one is really fun. Field trips happen all the time. I know when I first started homeschooling, I thought that field trips were something very formal. We're gonna go to a historic site, or we're gonna go to a factory or something like that. And I was neglecting all of the field trips that we take on a regular basis. Just going to a local park can be a field trip. You can be looking at the plants and the flowers and the bugs and the animals. If you go to the store, you can be learning about the different types of foods. You can be adding, you can be doing math. You can do all different kinds of things just at a simple grocery store. If you think about all of the different things that you do with your children on a regular basis, so many of these things are field trips. And the last thing is something that I really want to adopt just as a human being, and that life is a learning adventure. Everything that we do is teaching us something new. Everything that we do, whether it's just, simply going outside with your children, or going to, maybe a historic site, or going to a museum, or just spending time with family, baking in the kitchen, all these different types of things, they're all learning experiences, whether it be for you or your children. There are so many ways to learn, and if you teach your children at a very young age that life is all about learning and that they can learn wherever they are, it's going to prepare them to be such successful adults. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Have a great day.